It's party time, Mom.
Woo!
Why? Just why? PTM.
I know.
PTM.
We're going to party.
Natalie, that's right in my ear.
Party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode of Natalie's Losing Her Friggin' Mind.
Well, I'm pissed.
Are you?
Yeah.
Did they steal your credit card?
They keep stealing, like in a week and a half, too. Those skimmers. What are they? Skitters.
What are they? Little
Kyle?
things that they put
just a
on the
little
credit
slider
card
that they-
machine?
I think, yeah, and then you go and you stick your...
So you should always wiggle something before you put your credit card in it, right?
That's what I'm going to do. Thank
you
you.
should touch it before you stick it in.
Okay. Wiggle.
But no, I think that's what they do is they put the little reader over the top of the actual credit card thing,
Yeah.
and then you can pop that off.
I'm gonna.
Who is
better-
they? It's like
better-
criminals?
Yeah,
thieves?
criminals. People stealing your credit
The
card.
guy who just
information.
went to Target on my credit card and Marmot.com
The
Oh,
mafia?
no, that's expensive
and
stuff.
Country Back Road or Back Road Country. I don't know, but they
So he's a hiker.
they done shopped.
So he's a homeless person. And he's getting hiking materials. That's the whole deal. Well, I'm sorry you got robbed.
I know. I'm sorry I stole your show. Go ahead.
It's okay. It's
I'm
okay.
good
We're
now.
here for you,
I'll
Natalie.
spot you that $53 they took from you.
We're gonna talk a lot today about just that thing, which I call socialism, when you steal other people's money
Yeah.
and use it for your own needs, and you don't care how it affects other people. We're gonna have special guest Larry Alex Taunton, great friend, also incredible writer, author, columnist, just smart dude. And gonna have fun with him. Lisa Page made me do it. Didn't get your eyelashes.
She watches the show.
She got scared.
I got scared.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a big topic last week on Instagram,
yeah.
but I chickened out.
I get all my best makeup tips from your Instagram.
Yeah.
I do.
Well,
Home
I
decor.
mean, I'm a failure. I did not go through with it, but it's fine.
I'd like to know what your budget is, or just how much money you spend on this stuff.
She finds deals.
Yeah, I do. But lash extensions are the most expensive, right, Natalie?
It's a
With
commitment.
the upkeep, the maintenance.
I'm over it.
I pick them off. I can't do it. I'm like, pick. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Party Foul Steve, how are your lash
I was
extensions?
born with natural, beautiful lashes.
Natural, long. Kentucky Kyle.
Pretty.
Yeah.
They look good.
Do you ever just want to stare into Steve's eyes?
Sometimes it catches me off guard, and I have
But I have one eyelash that outgrows all the other ones.
Yes.
It's like twice as big around and twice as long. I pluck it.
Wait, what? What are we talking about?
Eyelashes.
An eyelash. I don't
That
think you're supposed to
happens.
pluck those.
No, I don't.
Oh, I got to.
Okay.
It'll be out here like this.
Riding down the street with Steve, we're going to get into serious topics eventually on this show, but riding down the street with Steve, he likes to pull hairs out of his face. Mm-hmm. And I'm
Oh,
like,
he's
like
a
picking
picker.
them out of his nose.
Oh, picker.
And I'm like, why? Why do you wait to get in the car? And he goes, that's when I have some me time.
And he just picks. That's a condition.
Yeah.
There are people who pick their
Pull
hair out.
their
and
eyelashes.
So
I just
you
don't
might
know
have that
hairs.
condition.
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
okay.
I-
We love you anyway. I love you through it.
It gives me.
Now I'm going to always watch him now because when he's going to like
In
grab.
spite of his weirdness, we just love him anyway.
You love them through it.
I guess.
That's acceptance.
Boy, howdy. Chance the Soulless Ginger Rapper is driving us into the nether regions along with Justin Case. And you guys look handsome over there. Everybody have a good Thanksgiving, though? Is all right?
Yeah.
Everybody have a good one?
I do want to talk to you later about your show. I went to it. You know that. But I went to your show on Friday. I want to talk to you about it.
I got a great review from somebody who said we did not come to hear moronic songs and sex jokes.
That was me. Just kidding. Just kidding. That's actually
I was
why
like,
I came.
yeah, you did. You just didn't know it.
Yeah, that's why I
I
came.
love when people send me those messages and they say, it seems like everyone else enjoyed your show, but my family did not. Well, maybe you're the problem. If everybody else was having a ball on Friday night.
I did.
I had a good time.
great turnout.
So you're saying like off camera you need to talk to me about
No. Well, David and Luann, fans of yours, met them. They are so awesome. They had a public service announcement that I look orange in this lighting, which I like. I would rather be orange than too white. But they said anyone who sits in this chair looks orange. But I said it's the Donald Trump lighting, and I like it.
Nobody else sees you that way, so I'm thinking David and Luann, maybe they're the problem.
David and Luann, you're
Adjust
high.
your TV.
They're the problem. Turn up the green, Dave. Turn up the green, less red, okay?
They love you, though, and I appreciate it.
And we love them.
They're sweet.
We love them. We do like feedback. I get a kick out of it, the positive and the negative. I mean, I get it all day, every day. It's pretty funny, the things that people just feel the need to tell you. You know what I mean?
I got feedback about you.
Oh, dear
I
God.
prefer Chad in a baseball cap. He looks better than in a cowboy hat.
Oh.
I said, I'll tell him.
Well, while we're doing this, somebody came to the merch table the other night and said, tell Chad that, gingers have souls. So
They don't, though, and there's no proof. Chance, there's no proof that gingers have souls. It's just like this election fraud. There's mountains of evidence, but you can't prove to me that they don't.
Yeah.
You just can't. Hey, I got to crash. Let me give you a fair warning, since you're getting all your crap stolen
I'm
these
ready.
days. Home title theft. Got the crash course in that recently. Don't let this ever happen to you guys, because it can ruin you financially. Here's how it happens. The legal titles to your home is kept online, where they can be hacked. You get a cyber thief that goes out and finds your home title, forges your signature on a quitclaim deed, stating that you sold your home to him, and then he's going to take out loans against your home until your equity is gone. You won't know it till the collection calls pour in. You're not protected by insurance, your bank, or common identity theft programs, but Home Title Lock is going to take care of you and protect you. And in the unlikely event that you become a victim of title theft while a member, Home Title Lock will spend up to $250,000 in legal fees to help restore your home's title. That's a great deal. So go to HometitleLock.com and register your address. They will tell you if you're already a victim. Then use code RADIO, RADIO, for 30 free days of protection. That's code RADIO at HometitleLock.com. Right back with my friend Larry Alex Taunton. Hey guys, I'm excited. I've been looking forward to this all weekend long to welcome a good friend of mine, Larry Alex Taunton. He is a cultural commentator. He is an author. He's a columnist. He's been featured everywhere. And more people need to not only know him, they need to hear his voice. And so we're happy to welcome him to the Chad Prather Show. We're going to get into it deep here for a few minutes, and I think you're going to enjoy what you hear. Larry Alex Taunton. Larry, good to see you, buddy. How you doing, man?
Hey,
you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we had a great one here. How about you?
Yeah, we did. I spent it on the road. I ate at a steakhouse for Thanksgiving, so it was very traditional, as you can imagine.
Well, it's Texas, so I would assume that it was a very good steakhouse.
It was a good steakhouse. Yeah, we were traveling on the road. You and I, we've talked about it all this week. You came up with the idea and shared it with me about this hashtag lockdown holiday, which basically is taking a holiday from the lockdowns. It is a form of personal protest and personal revolution, and people saying, there's no law that says you can't get together with the people you love and care about, friends and family, through the holidays, and these lockdowns are unconstitutional, and these mandates are just wrong. And so that was my way of kind of having a personal protest. Is we had shows. We did Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Friday night. So we spent our time on the road. As long as people were willing to get together, that's how we had our lockdown holiday. We had 500-600 people each night. We didn't encourage social distancing, and we really didn't care about masks a whole lot. So call us a super spreader event. But what do you think? I mean, and I know what happens, Larry, is people, they hear that and they're like, "How dare you?" But the point of revolution is how dare you moments. And what are your thoughts on what you're seeing right now?
Yeah, well, I think we're seeing massive infringement of personal liberty. We're seeing constitutional violations. And the idea that I had with the whole hashtag lockdown holiday, which, by the way, I love the T-shirts that you're preparing to sell.
Yeah.
The whole idea behind that isn't that we're saying to people that they should do anything they don't want to do. In fact, quite the opposite. We're telling people that if you would normally celebrate your holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, with your family, ignore the restriction that says you can only have 6 or 8 or 10 people. That's unconstitutional. If you want to wear a mask, wear one. If you don't. If you feel unsafe going out, self-quarantine. But these are decisions that you should be making for yourself, not government.
Yeah. And we're seeing a lot of people who are controlled by fear. Now, you've written, and I'm about 3/4 of the way through your latest book, Around the World in More Than 80 Days. And, you make some pretty stark revelations in this when you start looking at the world at large, culturally, and the things that people are embracing these days. What is the danger? What is the most dangerous thing we're seeing in today's trends as far as what people are embracing? This, whether it's being controlled by fear, the advent of socialism in America and its growth to the degree that it has. I mean, what are we facing these days?
Well, I think one of the big ones we're facing is just ignorance. We have a generation that has grown, multiple generations, that has grown up in this country without any real knowledge of our founding documents, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution. They've not been taught to love their country, to understand how precious and valuable our freedom is, and the fact that it was purchased with the most precious of currencies, which is blood.
Yeah.
And they have been taught that socialism, the utopian idea of socialism, is achievable. Mm-hmm. It never has worked anywhere. It has a body count of 125 million, no less than 125 million people globally in the 20th century alone. And they're also being told that Islam is a religion of peace, and this is sheer nonsense.
Mm-hmm. So, two things from what you just said that I want to unpack a little bit. One, this idea that socialism's never been fully tried, and then whenever you get to a Venezuela type situation, then people say, well, see, that's not true socialism. But it seems that it is always, has been, and will be the result when you try this experiment called socialism. It's an unattainable thing, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's a government-run Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
Is what it is, and it makes the government an object of worship. I mean, you look to government to supply all of your needs, and a traditional American view of government is that we want it small and to stay out of our way, mm-hmm. and to provide for the common defense and the general welfare of the people. But today, the left idolizes governments, and the idea that there are people that live free and are doing what they want to do within reasonable boundaries, mm-hmm. is just something that they hate. You and I are both fairly active on Twitter, and to see some of the things that the left is saying about someone who chooses not to wear a mask or who chooses to have their family over for Thanksgiving, it's clear that they just can't stand that idea, and it enrages them. Well, I mean, go live in Europe.
Yeah. What I'm curious about is, and every time we talk about this, anytime I talk about the idea of socialism and we put clips out there on social media, I inevitably have the people who come back and they troll and they say, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't understand socialism. And the scary part about that is twofold in my mind. There's a lot more, but two things stand out. One, you can't get away from history's facts of man's inhumanity to man. And when a social economy collapses, somebody's going to rise to the top. And it's never a benevolent dictator, ever, in those situations. Those are the fears when it comes to socialism, because it is an economy that will collapse. It always has. And the other thing is the removal of religion from all of our institutions. Isn't it interesting that so many of the power voices in America today are saying it's okay to do this and do that, but you can't have religious observances. You can't go to church. You can't gather at your synagogue. You can't do any of these things. And we see that the removal of religion or religious practice and the removal ultimately of God from the economy of our vocabulary, but also from our daily experience and practice, what we're seeing is it basically paves the way for what the ultimate result of socialism becomes in every case, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, the attacks on religion aren't merely incidental. I mean, Stalin was an atheist. Lenin was an atheist. Mao was an atheist. That the socialists, in the Christian worldview, a government and a temporal institution serves man, an eternal being. In the socialist model, this is reversed. Man, a temporal being, serves the eternal state.
Mm-hmm.
And this is it's a subtle distinction, but it's important because this is why the left has such utter disdain for the individual. I mean, we see it in abortion, we see it with these lockdowns, we see it in what Cuomo is doing in New York, we see it with what Whitmer is doing in Michigan and Gavin Newsom in California,
Mm-hmm.
and it's because for them, human beings are simply raw material, bricks and mortar for the building of the socialist state. And you and I don't see it that way. We respect the individual. We see the individual as more important than the state. They don't.
Yeah. And it's golly, man, it's so scary because I go back to your original point of how the biggest problem we have is ignorance. And the way in which we are willing to reinterpret, redefine, and revise history. Instead of learning from it, we want to recreate it in our own way to make it say what we feel like it should say. And that house of cards always falls in on itself. This idea that ultimately humanism is the way to go and man is going to rise to the top, and ultimately every day in every way we're getting better and better is absolutely absurd. It flies in the face of the concept of the old Calvinistic Puritan idea of total depravity, which trust me when I tell you, I've read Romans. I understand the depravity of my own heart. My feet run towards evil, right? The heart is desperately wicked and deceitful above all things.
Or towards a good barbecue.
Say that again.
Or toward good barbecue. That's where your feet
that's
take.
Exactly right. Well, based on my body and my gluttony, yes, that's 100% true. But when you look at those things, we're just not built that way because we're a fallen people. We are, and it's impossible to say those things without using the rhetoric or the vocabulary of the divine or the theological. People don't like you to do that. So, I got on Twitter last night and I said, we're telling everybody to wear masks, but at the same time, you'd cut your neighbor's throat over a roll of toilet paper right now.
I saw that.
That is in essence the depravity of man. That's where we live right now. It's where we've always lived. I mean, from the moment that Eve and Adam, ate the fruit of the tree, that's where we've been. And so, I struggle to get people to understand where we're headed. Where we're headed, like you said, is where people become the currency. They're the bricks and mortar of this thing, and it's okay to grind them underneath this contraption of government. And the biggest problem at the basis of it that I have with socialism, Marxism, communism, and every other ism that's out there is the people who started it. They weren't just atheists. They hated God. They hated the concept of God. They fought against the concept of God. And I said 25 years ago, I was in Frankfurt, Germany. I said, America is always just going to follow suit with what we see culturally happening in Europe. I can remember walking through the airport out there, and there were nude models, advertising perfume and things like that on the walls of the airport, just fully exposed. And I thought that would never happen in America, but I'm wrong. It does happen in America now because we followed suit. What has been your experience in your travels when you were writing around the world in more than 80 days? What did you see around, that ultimately is coming to America?
Well, I appreciate you mentioning the book, and I would encourage everyone out there to get a copy, to buy it for all their relatives and all their friends. Please buy it in bulk. It is available on Amazon. But basically what I did, Chad, is I've been to 55 countries, and for this book, I went to 35, and the book itself actually only contains 26. But what I was doing is I was taking the left's argument that America is a terrible place, that we really need to get with it because we're out of step with the rest of the world, and that the soft socialist democracies of Western Europe or Scandinavia is the way that we need to go. Having traveled so much, I thought, well, I'm going to take people these days are used to going on a virtual tour on Skype and Zoom and this kind of thing in the age of the so-called pandemic. So I thought, I'm going to take you on a virtual tour. I'm going to take you around the world. You'll go with me. And I'm going to show you what the rest of the world is like. So I was hiding from the Fulani herdsman militia, a Muslim sect in Africa, and I was rappelling from the Great Wall of China, and I was shooting AK-47s with former Viet Cong in Vietnam. But so it's an adventure story. But at the same time, I'm educating you about what the rest of the world is like. And no matter what the left tells you, the data says that the overwhelming majority of people who would like to, I think it was Pew Forum or Gallup who did this, a poll asking people if they could immigrate, where would they want to go? 21% of them around the world said they'd like to come to the United States. The next highest country was Germany at 6%. So we know that the world has traditionally seen America as Disneyland, as the Magic Kingdom, as the place where dreams come true. Unfortunately, the left wants to bring us into line with, say, Western Europe, say, a France, countries of this nature. And some of you are saying, "Hey, I like France. I took a tour down the Seine, or I sipped champagne along the Champs-Elysees, or atop the Eiffel Tower." I use a term in the book that I call traveler's fallacy. It's a term that I've coined to try to tell people, don't confuse your vacation at a sandals resort with what it's like to live in most of these Caribbean islands, or for that matter, your trip to London or your trip to France or to Berlin. It's not the same thing. These are people who are living under massive, crushing tax burdens. Their civil liberties are violated on a very regular basis. Freedom, as you and I simply does not exist there. Freedom of speech does not exist there. And we are creeping in that direction. I say we're creeping. We actually are moving quite rapidly in that direction now.
Yeah, we're gaining a little momentum. Hey, hang tight real quick. Larry Alex Taunton, my good friend, is with us. We got more with him. First, a little capitalism. The holidays are back. That means one thing. You're going to be returning a trunk full of gifts you didn't want. Instead, put something on your wish list that you actually want, like the festive masculine scents from Duke Cannon. Duke Cannon's got holiday-themed grooming gifts like Frothy the Beer Man gift set, modeled after the candy-filled gift books of Christmas Past. It contains 30 ounces of manly, woodsy, scented soaps infused with more adult treat. Yep. Booze. But if visions of follicle growth dance in your head, there's the Beard That Stole Christmas gift set, a keepsake box of provisions that'll nourish even the wispiest of beards to world champion status. And if you're still unsure of what gift to ask for, Duke Cannon has a quiz guaranteed to recommend a great gift and give you a promo code for your time. Duke Cannon holiday gift sets like Frothy the Beer Man and the Beard That Stole Christmas are perfect additions to any man's wish list. I want you to visit DukeCannon.com. Use promo code HolidayChad for 10% off your next order. Free shipping with orders over $30. A selection of Duke Cannon's products are also available at your local Target. Go there today. We'll be right back. Back with Larry Alex Taunton, author of several great works, but most recently and particularly Around the World in More Than 80 Days. You need to get it. You need to check it out. As he said, you need to buy it in bulk. You need to share it with everybody you know. Great for the holidays. Give them the gift of intelligence. And I promise you, if you'll go to his website, you will also find numerous articles there that will just absolutely equip you and train your mind in the ways of thinking critically, but also in ways that are easy to understand and explain. So I always encourage people, disciple your minds with good material, and Larry Taunton is one of the best. Larry, thanks for being with us, buddy. What do you think, in light of that, and I love that phrase you used in the last segment, traveler's fallacy, because it is so true. I've been on every continent that has people. So that leaves Antarctica out, and have no desire to go be cold with the penguins. But I've been around the world. I've seen cultures. I love to paraphrase Mark Twain, who in essence said, "Nothing destroys prejudice like travel, and vice versa. Nothing destroys travel like prejudice." And so when you go around the world, you start to see people from a different perspective. And a lot of times in America, we have a very narrow view. We think the rest of the world is just like us. And so when you see something, a certain trend, like in the last 4 years, the Democratic Socialists of America as an organization grows from 7,000 members to 50,000 members, we are gaining momentum in some things that we really, I feel, are detrimental to us as a country, in our foundations. If it turns out that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris become the president and vice president of the United States in this next 4 years, I say that almost tongue in cheek with a chuckle, because I just don't think. I mean, a guy can't walk his dog without getting injured, right? So
Yeah.
he's incapacitated already, and he hasn't even gotten to the White House, hadn't even gotten to the inauguration.
Yeah, how long can I crack his skull?
Exactly. And, what does this look like for America with these trends? I don't want to get into voter fraud. I don't need to, those kind of things, the mountains of evidence that I feel are there. But we really are seeing some shaky things happening to the underpinnings of this country. What do you think? What do you think that looks like as we continue forward, if this momentum continues to grow?
Yes, well, my feeling about Joe Biden is ideologically vacuous. I mean,
Yeah.
he's just a guy who is about the acquisition of power. He was happy to play the race card. That is to say, to be a racist when it suited him in the 70s. Then now he's gone in another direction. But I think Kamala Harris, AOC, the people who are behind him, they are ideologically committed to their radical socialist agenda. And I don't know how much of that they'll be able to get through Congress, given the fact that they don't, at least not yet, control the Senate.
Yeah.
But there's no question that we will see, as we did, by the way, with Obama, a record number of executive orders in order to achieve those particular goals. I think that you will see a massive taxation on red states, to punish red states for their support of Trump, and a transference of wealth from those states to blue states. I personally think that the reason why people like Governor Newsom and Whitmer and others have been willing to wreck the economies of their state is because there's been some backroom dealing that say, hey, once we're in power, we're going to make sure that there is, federal monies are funneled to you. So I think we're going to see all kinds of things of that nature taking place.
Yeah. It's scary. It really is, especially when you start to realize that people, and by the way, ideologically vacuous, I'm totally tweeting that today, by the way. I'm totally stealing that term, totally going to tweet that out about Joe Biden, because you couldn't be any more right. He's willing to do whatever it takes as a power grab, and his proverbial soul has been sold at the crossroads for that power. It's scary when you think about people who are, for lack of better terms, bought out, and they are. I mean, you wouldn't think that we'd see it in Texas, but I feel like we've seen it in Texas with our own governor, Greg Abbott here. They're just, all of a sudden, these trends, they change, and people with convictions, suddenly their convictions seem to change, which tells you there were never convictions at all. It's a scary thing to see. The future of America, we can delay what's going on, but do you think at some point in time we ever get to a point where we run roughshod into this idea that socialism should be accepted and should be practiced in this country?
I fear that if the so-called silent majority, conservatives tend to be very law-abiding people. They woke up November 4th and they went to work. But at some point, we have to resist this. And I'm not advocating violence, but I am advocating things like lockdown holiday. I'm simply saying that there needs to come a place where we say no more, that we're not going along with this. And one of the deep concerns that I've had for a very long time is what's happening with our youth. Those people who are very suspicious of socialism or who are opposed to it tend to be older. A younger generation seems to be pretty bought into this. And I'm a bit mystified by those parents, many of whom are conservative, who are complaining about the fact that public schools are closed and that the teachers' unions want to keep them closed. I say, fine, leave them closed. I mean, where do you think the ranks of Antifa and Black Lives Matter were filled? They were filled with people who are radicalized in our public schools and in our universities. That trend has to stop.
Yeah. Yeah, and I echo that sentiment quite often and catch a lot of hell for it because people, they think they hear what you're saying, but they're really not listening. And I've said for years, we've got to get back to a place of complex and critical thinking. How do you think we get back to that point?
Wow, that's a tough one, Chad. I think in large part, something that Trump has been trying to do is the 776 Project, I believe is what he calls it, and the effort to ban critical race theory. And that's a whole different conversation that we can have as to what that is and what that looks like. We put a video about it called Understanding Marxism and Socialism and the Radical Left's Agenda in America on YouTube, which explains it quite succinctly. But I think that Trump has been trying to do this in our schools by removing the radical curriculums that we're seeing there. And so it's going to take educating people. They're going to have to understand what socialism actually looks like, what Marxism is. I mean, Black Lives Matter is openly Marxist. This isn't something that you and I invented here. It's not conspiracy theory. It's the reality. And this should frighten everyone as to what these people are about.
Yeah. Well, next time you're on this show, I hope you're sitting in the studio. We need to do like a full week together because there's so much. And I do encourage people not only to get your book, but also follow you on social media. I love the sanctified irreverence you and I both share. It has redemption in it, but it's very honest. And I encourage people to check out the video and share the video that you just referenced, talking about understanding Marxism and socialism. I've shared it on my socials and put it out there. And people just need to be following you. They need to be checking out your articles. They need to be reading everything on your website. And I'm praying for you, brother. I want you to keep kicking butt.
Hey, man, listen, I've enjoyed being on the show, and I appreciate you, your team, and I appreciate your, as you say, sanctified irreverence. We need more of that. It's authentic, it's good, it's fun. It's part of the new apologetic, the new defense of conservatism of the Christian faith that we need. Yeah,
that's exactly right. Follow him on Twitter at Larry Alex Taunton, Taunton. Hey, we just found out the other day that the bear FAK saved another life. That's 13 and counting. Research found that the average EMS response time, 37 minutes in an emergency time, is critical. For example, you can have an arterial bleed that can kill somebody in just a minute and a half. That's why I recommend that every American get a bear FAK from Refuge Medical in their home, car, or RV. I've got it in all of mine. Handmade in America, the Bear Fac comes complete with 28 essential components, including a genuine North American Rescue Gen 7 cat tourniquet, emergency trauma dressing, quick clot gauze, nasal airway, and hyphen chest seals in the event of a gunshot wound. It's guaranteed for life. The Bear Fac is going to exceed military specifications for individual first aid kits, and if yours is ever used to save a life, they'll replace whatever components are used at no charge to you. So I want you to go to refugemedical.com, get 15% off all their first aid kits with the promo code CHAD. I spell it, Chad. If we learned one lesson this year, it's to be prepared for anything. RefugeMedical.com. RefugeMedical.com. Use promo code CHAD, and we'll be right back. I'm going to get all you guys Larry's book, and you're going to do a report on it. Okay, Natalie?
I'm ready. Yes.
You're going to have to write a one-page report.
One page. Okay.
I'm really good at book reports.
I mean, he visited 36 countries. You could write a one-page report.
I think so. Can it be double space?
Yeah, well, see, that's the whole point of what we're talking about, the dumbing down of America, and there it is.
Alexa, do my book report.
It's frustrating to me. I literally laid awake last night worrying about everything going on in the world, in my world, and all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And like even last night, I started thinking about these people who are significantly dealing with this coronavirus thing. And then I got pissed off at China all over again. And I got pissed off with all these politicians jacking us around with stuff like that. So like I covered all the bases last night. But when I start thinking about socialism and the idea that everybody wants to share each other's crap. It's like the old George Carlin bit where, my stuff is stuff and your stuff is shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to move your shit out of the way to have a place to put my stuff when I come visit your house. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's the way we think of that is why should a thief think that your money belongs to him?
Right.
This idea. And people are thieves. They really are.
Yes.
They're greedy. They will steal. And by the way, money is not the root of all evil. That's not what it says. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. And boy, it's true. Get some money involved. During a break, I was just having a conversation with some business partners about money. And it's like, dude, put it where it needs to go. They're like, what you need to get. And I said, no. Put it where it needs to go. We'll sort all that stuff out later on. Because I know what greed's like. And socialism, at the essence of that, is greed. It's greed. Lisa Page and her makeup addiction. It's greed.
Greed. That's where she spends it all.
Party Foul Steve. I was at his house last night having a little sip of whiskey last night, and he was talking about how he was underpaid and undervalued.
Oh,
Greed.
Steve.
I'm the least greedy person I know.
It's true. That's why I keep you around.
And the most humble.
I just want what I work for. So
So excited about his washing machine coming.
Yeah, in my humble but
came out.
accurate opinion.
Shoot, that's mine, Friday.
oh yeah,
Yeah?
she got the washing machine.
Did
on
y'all
the
buy
way.
it on my credit card? I'm sure that's going to pop up here in a minute.
Your credit
something.
card got declined.
That's right.
Now, whenever we're selling our merchandise from watchchad.com, where all the fun stuff is, Cyber Monday, promo code Cyber. Once you go over to Blaze, actually, shop.blazemedia.com has an awesome 30% off deal going right now. So go check them out. Got the Chad Prather collection, and it's special.
Oh, yeah.
Get stuff there that you can't get anywhere else. But Tony, doing all the stuff that she does for that side of a business, I don't even pay her in cash. It's just like a game show. I pay her in goods and appliances.
That's good.
I heard all about her new fridge.
And trust me when I tell you, she ain't cheap.
Well, she
A
goes
girl's
for quality.
got taste.
Quality.
Yeah, she's got all kind of goods and appliances. It's like she's on The Price is Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better to get paid like that in like gifts rather than money, because I wouldn't normally go out and buy, if I were Tony, I wouldn't go buy a refrigerator just to buy one, but she's getting gifted a refrigerator. So it's a whole new level of excitement.
She puts in a lot of work to get gifted stuff.
But there's a lot of things that you don't want to go out and spend your money on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things, like a refrigerator. Nobody wants to go out and buy a new refrigerator.
Yeah.
It's like, golly, who wants to go spend $3,000 on a new ice box?
Or a vacuum.
Hey
Lisa's
now.
got a lot of them.
Hey now.
You like buying vacuums?
Yes.
Okay.
I need a new vacuum cleaner. So
Lisa, I was like,
couple.
what has she got? I was looking at her Instagram last night. It's like 2 a.m. I'm sitting there going, what has she got now?
Well, these Black Friday specials got me.
Yeah.
I would love for you to get me a Roomba as a housewarming
No,
gift.
you don't want a Roomba.
You do not want a Roomba.
Because they get stuck under furniture. Don't.
It does, and when it runs over dog poop, it's like somebody's painting a Jackson Pollock.
Okay.
The biggest overrated appliance ever. No floor vacuums and they don't even stay in line. They get all they get caught up on your rugs. They get stuck under furniture. They have a small canister, so you're always emptying it out.
All right,
what else
well,
do you want to know
that's a
about
bad idea.
vacuums?
It was. and
Well,
now
Just
you
whatever
freaking
one you
know.
want to get
4
me
of
that you
them.
think is great, Lisa, is fine. That's whichever one you want to get me.
Now you know.
Yeah, I know.
See, some things.
more you know.
Now, not everybody has a 25,000 square foot house like you.
I don't have a
But
25.
and I understand that walking around it pushing a vacuum is like work, but Esmeralda will push it for you.
I do not have a 25,000 square
But
foot
you do have an
home.
Esmeralda.
I do have an Olga.
He's got an Olga.
I love her.
It's gonna be really.
She hasn't seen the new house yet.
Yeah, well,
So I
she's
may
going to
not
be
have-
intimidated.
She better be wearing her stepper.
She just got
better
a
put her.
raise.
Hope she has a Fitbit.
She better put her Fitbit on because she can walk
Oh, yeah.
12,000 square feet a
she got
day.
it. Yeah.
It's not 12,000 square
But I
feet.
mean,
Yes,
you got,
it is.
You got
No.
a washer and dryer every third room in that house, so you can far to go do the laundry.
Yeah, you just keep like when you got a house so big, you got multiple laundry rooms because by the time you trek to the other side of the house, you need it over there.
Yeah.
and I
wa-
didn't realize you were going to buy me the washer and dryer.
I didn't realize that either.
I know, until
I had
just
no
now.
idea
Surprise.
until just this
Thank
second.
you.
But I don't think that I'm gonna. We'll see. We'll see. Lord have mercy.
This is good TV right
I'll
here.
give you a Kentucky Kyle.
Oh, okay.
I'm handy.
He's not as
well,
quiet.
all right.
He's not as quiet in real life as he is on the show. That's true.
Kentucky Kyle, do you clean
I can.
in
Not my
an
favorite.
outfit?
I mean, I can dress up.
Kyle's mad for plaid.
We were doing a live feed video yesterday, and somebody's like, "Can you tell Kentucky Kyle to put on a shirt that fits?" I was like, "The man is brawny."
He is brawny.
He is.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's sporting the shirt.
Especially
Yeah.
today.
Got buffalo check on.
He'll never wear that shirt again.
Burn it.
He was wearing my Be Nice shirt.
Yep.
It looked good on him.
I only can buy shirts that we don't sell. And, that's what we have left.
I just take the free shirts that nobody buys.
Are you single?
I am.
Ladies.
Perfect.
Ladies.
Do not complicate his life with that crap. I need this man focused 100%
He'll be
on
focused
me.
and he's going to have fun.
Oh, my gosh.
Get it?
Next, we're going to have to do a Kentucky Kyle at watchchad.com email address, aren't we?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Y'all stop, you thirsty women. We'll be right back. Y'all realize I've worn the same thing for the last 4 episodes of this show?
I have. But I
Same
don't
thing.
care.
I don't care either.
We love you anyway.
I can smell myself. I'm at that point.
I don't smell you.
You will.
So, okay. Pigpen. Oh, our little
You will.
pigpen.
No, I've just been wearing the exact same thing. Same glasses, same hat, same sweater, different T-shirt and underwear. Basically the
Well, at
same.
least you're changing those out.
Well, you change your panties, so
Yeah.
that helps.
Yeah. Or just don't wear any. It's a sociological experiment. Everything I do is a sociological experiment. I just want to see how people react to certain things and what they pay attention to and what they notice.
Yeah.
You know? Don't ask me why. It's just a weird mental thing that I got going.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Okay.
Party Foul Steve's makeup is on fleek today.
You
It
look
is, isn't it?
good.
Thank you.
How many
Yeah.
times do I have to be on the show till I get hair and makeup?
All you got to do is go in there.
You got to roll in.
They'll rub stuff all over you, man.
It will.
Now, if she's single, you just let her know
I
you're
don't think
single.
she is.
No,
Oh,
she's
okay.
got 3 kids.
Yeah, I don't think
All
our,
right.
And
I don't think
married.
our makeup artist.
Yeah.
We won't say names, but I don't think she is.
Okay, she's taken.
She's taken.
Taken.
She
Oh,
can
well.
do a killer cat eye, though.
Lisa
makeup-
Page made me do it. Party Foul Nation.
Mm-hmm.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say makeup is the best hangover cure.
Steve just
Feeler.
likes people rubbing on his face.
Yeah.
He likes to come in there and get brushed up. It makes him feel fantabulous.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my
Fabulous.
gosh. Happy Monday, everybody. Tomorrow we're going to get into some headlines because I'm kind of miffed at some things that are going on in the world. So I might break loose tomorrow night. I got some things I want to talk about that we didn't get to today. But get Larry Alex Taunton's book, Around the World in More Than 80 Days. He's got several other titles that are out there. Make sure you check them all out. Go to watchchad.com where all the fun stuff is, and take advantage of one of those deals at shop.blazemedia.com and also blazetv.com/Chad. Sign up for an annual subscription so that you don't miss out on anything and all things Blaze TV. Kentucky Kyle, Chance the Soulless Ginger Rapper. Yeah, they're soulless. And just in case, we will see y'all tomorrow night. We love you. God bless you. Bye.